Morning, morning, morning for the weekly wrap up from sunny England.
From sunny England once again. That's
It
amazing.
is. After a week of rain in rainy Scotland.
yeah. Well, it's been a good week. But yeah, dare I say, it looks like the market, it might be similar to last week's wrap up. You could almost just re-record last week's wrap up, right?
Almost, yeah. I don't think it's moved terribly much at all this week. So we've had a few good alts happening, but as far as like BTC goes, I think we've moved about $1.
Okay then. Well, dare I say, shall we have a look at Bitcoin?
We shall. All right. Let me turn into Super Nerd and we'll look at BTC. So this is the BTC chart. I think I showed you this exact same chart last week. Told you that the pivots were 72,819 and 64,870. And for the whole entire week, we've traded in that range. So those pivots are important. A break above this confirms it is, impulse. Not breaking this and coming back this way confirms we're in a Y wave. So we're still right in the middle of those two waves. With Ethereum ETFs, we may see a little bit of a bounce, but if we look at the MACD, this is daily, we're starting to come down. So it does look like we're going to see a test to that 64,870 range. We will then see likely a test to this range as well, because the stock is indicating that we are going to see a bounce up. So we're going to trend a little bit more sideways for probably for a few days. So, and then we'll see some movement. USDT dominance is declining, so we want to see that drop down. That will give us that little burst of energy that we'll see some more money move into crypto. So that's kind of where we're sitting at the moment. So if we go back to this BTC chart, we're in a corrective wave here for potentially the second wave of an impulse. That's the ideal wave that we'd like to see here. That could potentially take us to 88,000 here and about 97,000. If everyone gets excited, we might even push to 100K. So we are that close to going up to those ranges. So it is looking really good. So, this is a case at the moment of buy the dip on these coins for the long-term bull market, because I think we're in a really good position to actually take off very soon.
Okay, and as you were saying, Ethereum had its ETF at least approved by the SEC.
Yeah, so we're waiting on the launch of those ETFs, and I think that's going to happen on Tuesday. America is closed for a public holiday. UK is closed for a bank holiday. And so we're going to see some movement Tuesday, tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see those impulse waves confirm. Ethereum right now is sitting right on a pivot, and it keeps rejecting that pivot. So hopefully today it can break through that 3.9 sort of 50-ish mark and then continue up for that impulse. We have a strong resistance on Ethereum at about 4,460. Now that's going to prove quite tough. So I do think we're going to pull back at that range. The pivot on pulling back for there is right down at about 3,290. So that's probably the highest or the lowest region we may see, but I think it's going to hold higher. I think we're going to see, once Ethereum starts to move, I think everyone's going to sort of jump into that. We'll see alts start to bleed as people move into those ranges.
Okay, cool. What's up next? Anything else in terms of news and views from the week, despite it being fairly sideways?
Well, we've got quite a choppy week because we've got select interest rates coming later this week for the FOMC. So we've got quite a few meetings coming up there. So I think that's going to give us some volatility. we will see those patterns complete and hopefully break through those pivots and no direction either way. So whether it's a short-term sort of pullback for those Y waves, that's just a case of buying the dip here, because long-term this is going to be, you know, probably the last of the really epic bull runs that we're going to see. So because, you know, we're getting regulations coming in thick and fast, and, you know, you want to be making the most of it while you can.
Absolutely. Okay. Is it worth looking at some alts?
Yeah, let's have a quick look, because I've been doing a little bit of research on some exchange coins, reading a bit of information about how they're going to be driving into the bull market. So first we've had a request from Sadie, one of our members, for Atom. And this is one of our signals. We looked at it last week as well. And it's literally not really moved. So it's still holding this support line, crawling across it. I had one breakdown, but it does look as if it's still holding that range. And yeah, we just want to see that sort of move up and stop going sideways. The whole market seems to be fairly sideways. There's been a few alts moving, not a great deal of movement in any of them. We've had a few good trades at GSIC this week, a couple of 40, 50%ers. So that's been nice. But other than that, it's been a very quiet market.
Very quiet. We do have one more request that's come in for Farm. F-A-R-M. So whilst you get that ready, we're going to go to a quick 30-second ad break.
We're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Yeah. Okay, Farm.
Farm. So Farm has this beautiful alt curl happening on it at the moment. So that's what we do like to see when we're looking at signals and so on. Now this is a signal within GSIC at the moment. So it's found support on the 100 MA. This is the daily chart. So when I'm looking at signals, this was actually done by our other signals person, GSIC Signals. He does a lot about 30% of the signals in there. And yeah, so this is looking really, really good. And, found support here. It does look like it'll complete an ABC wave, sort of a bit sideways, probably up to around 117, pull back down, and then a continuation. It has a really nice alt curl. So we would put a curve on that, and yeah, looking good.
Excellent. That was for Lisette in our group. One more, Lise. Can we whip up WIN? W-I-N, Crypto Lisa, in getting started in crypto. As always, you can, if you're in getting started in crypto, you can jump into our live chat in the site at any time, question chats, asking questions, having a rant if you wish. We don't mind. It's happened. So do jump in there.
So WIN again is one of our signals. It has reached target 1. It was also one of our TTM signals, which have been a bit slow at the moment just due to market and conditions. But we've got a pretty good win rate over the last month on those. And it's sideways. It's still in pattern. It just needs to hold the sideways momentum. Looking good. So I'm going to have a quick look at some exchange coins, because there's been some big movements on these since the beginning of this year. So this is MX token, which is MEXC. So 170% movement on this. So I think these are going to be big movers coming up for the bull run because, with an exchange token, if you're trading on that exchange and you hold the token on that exchange, you do get reduced fees. And coming into the bull market, often these get hiked up. So especially if we're in longs or if we're, going in that general direction, the fees can be a little bit higher. So you want to hold some of these exchange coins. So now's a good time to be buying and the dips in these. So I think potentially we could see about 3.4 coming down for MX token. And, over the course of the bull run, these can do in excess of 500%. So they're a good coin to hold. And of course, reducing your fees. So this is BitGet token, BGB. It's had about 140% rise since the beginning of the year. It does look like it will come down to around the 95 mark. And that's where you want to be buying in this region and just DCAing. Because again, I think BitGet are going to do big things. And they've increase their spot sort of coins for a lot of countries that can only trade spot now with restrictions. So that is one to hold to get the value from your fees. And the other one is, of course, BNB. It hasn't moved a real lot at the moment. This is OKB, but BNB, I don't have a chart up, but it's always a good one to hold for Binance customers. Now, this is OKB, which is OKX. So they are actively going around and, getting compliance in all regions. So it's going to be a huge one because, once they've got those compliance certificates, they've just got Australia, they've got an Australian exchange. They're actively working on UK and a couple of other regions. So this, since the beginning of the year, moved 191%. So I think anywhere in this range down to about 32 is a good area to buy. And that's going to be a huge mover as well. So especially as OKX are really actively going after those compliance certificates for regions.
I know they've just come and launched in Australia properly. So yeah, as you say, they are spreading themselves around. Have we got time for one more quick alt?
Yeah.
Phil, FIL.
Phil.
We have a quick look at Phil for Marcus, and then we will wrap up for this week.
Excellent. So we're still under that pivot. We've come up. I think I gave this to somebody in the group. It may have even been Marcus. So it's come up. It's done the 5% to that pivot and rejected. Currently, on the 2-hour chart, it is holding the MAs. But let's go up higher and kind of see where we're sitting on this. We're underneath the MAs, which is never a great sign. It looks like it was an old signal. So hang on, let me remove all of that. The pivot here, the upper pivot is 7.7. So potentially it is going to do one wave up there. I think we're going to get quite a strong rejection on this, on Phil at that 7.7 range. So I think across the board, we're going to get, once BTC does that final wave up. So that's a 26% move, which is not bad in this current market. So to get, especially if you can margin trade in the regions, make sure you're not over leveraging though. So it does look like it may get that one more move up and then come back down to retest these regions. So it did do 5 waves here, so it is in a corrective pattern in this region. But when we're looking at Altcurl, this one has a really nice one. So we can see that it is following up around. So we want that to kind of, continue and go up, basically.
Continue and
but
go.
Yeah, looking good.
Sounds nice. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, all looks good.
All good. Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining. Again, a nice short and sweet wrap up. Yeah, we will see you again next week, I believe.
We will. We will. I think we're still in England next week. So, yeah.
So hopefully sunny as well.
Hopefully, it's looking like it's getting a bit nasty during the week. But yeah, at least it is much warmer than Melbourne. They've been having sort of 5 to 10 degrees. So I am really grateful to be in the sunshine, 15 degrees.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining us. Have a great week ahead, and we will see you all soon. Bye.